Alright, today's first story begins when the subscriber was in 3rd grade. They had to move schools because of something in the district or something like that. Some shit happened. But pretty much, she had to relearn a lot of things because she moved schools, and like some of the things that she learned were correlated with different grades at different schools. You get the point. So pretty much she did French to English, like, pretty much just like, now the remaining friends that she had pretty much just all grew apart from her because she was pretty emotional and she wasn't great at making new friends at the time. And that entire year she was lonely apart from the fact that she had her best friend with her since preschool. And now time comes for 4th grade. And finally, after all this time of struggling to make friends and at this new school, she met somebody that we're just gonna call Amy. So at first, she was pretty normal. But like as you got to know her more, she just got weirder and weirder as she got more comfortable, if that makes sense. For the rest of the grade 4, it was just all normal. They hung out and they really enjoyed each other's company. She felt like she finally met a genuine friend that she could connect with. She felt like she finally met somebody else that she was able to connect with on a stronger level until grade 5 came along. And that's when things just went downhill. All right. So one day she was with Amy and she abruptly started talking about the Dream SMP. And now it wasn't just like anybody talking about the Dream SMP like, oh, I really like their content, like it's cool. No, she just straight up said, Dream is hot. Like just randomly. And the subscriber looked at her with the most confused look of all time. She was just like, what the fuck? And then she just started going on. She was like, oh, I like Bad Boy Halo and Skeppy 2 and whatever. I don't fucking know. Just a bunch of shit like that. She had a green sweater. And now originally this green sweater was just an ordinary green sweater. And as soon as she got into the Dream SMP, she took this green sweater and drew a shitty smiley face on it and put a bunch of Dream stickers. Like, bro, come on. You just ruined some elite drip. What the fuck is wrong with you? Come on. Like a green sweater? Like, yo, that kind of goes hard, but like you ruined it now. Come on. I mean, if you're gonna buy like Dream merch, like with the smiley face on it, don't draw it yourself. At least fucking buy the stupid smiley face thing. Some of the prices are fucking mental, but it looks a lot better than a shittily drawn smiley face. I will tell you that right now. And she had like her school computer. Like, of course she had stickers of Dream SMP stuff on there too. Now, the next time she went to her house, her room just took a complete 180. Like, she had no idea what happened. Like, things just got out of hand. It was extremely messy, and you guessed it, Dream shit everywhere. Now, the subscriber was a casual viewer of the Dream SMP, but this girl was in fact a Dream stan. And she would always talk about the whole lore and everything like that. And at home, she didn't really have much to do, so if she got bored, she would just watch the Dream SMP. She was just a casual viewer, right? Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? And it was just kind of an on occasion thing. She was like 11 at the time, so. But Amy, on the other hand, would literally just, I don't even know, bro. Like, she would literally refuse to touch grass. Like, come on, bro. She said, come outside, let's like touch grass or some shit. And she was just like, no, we're gonna watch the Dream SMP. Even if like she was trying to hang out with her, she would just like watch the Dream SMP and sometimes even force her to like watch things like that she didn't feel like watching at the moment. Like, she would much rather spend time with her friend outside, and that's exactly how anybody on planet Earth would feel. Like, I think anybody on planet Earth would much rather want to have fun than just sit inside and watch Dream SMP all day. And even if she tried to leave or go outside or anything like that, she would literally threaten her by saying, I will hurt myself if you go anywhere. Like, if anything, this girl Amy is hurting herself by sitting inside watching Dream SMP all day. I'll tell you that right now. If you're never outside, that is just so bad for your health. Like, even if you just go outside to sit on the back porch and chill, just soak in some of the sunlight. Despite that, this girl never went outside. I mean, despite how bad it is for your health not to. And now it was like this girl was like switching characters in Smash Bros, bro. She was going through some kind of phases. The fact that she was already going through phases in 5th grade kind of scares me. So she just currently went through a Dream SMP phase. Now, after the 3-month Dream SMP phase, she decided she was going into like the whole animal and furry thing. And it wasn't just like, oh, it's a hobby that I like. No, she just absolutely took it to the next level of crazy. And of course, she was very spoiled. So she pretty much begged her parents to get her a fursuit, and they did, because she would just constantly rant about, my parents are so terrible. They won't get me a fursuit. Yeah, because they're expensive as fuck. I don't know how much they are, but that's what I've heard at least. Unfortunately, her parents caved after hearing so many please, please, with the cherry on top, or whatever the fuck people say. And then, of course, after a while, they were just like, fine, Jesus Christ, we'll get you the fursuit. And she was like, yes, oh my God. And when she got it, she opened it in excitement, and she was like, I'm wearing this to school tomorrow. And of course, the day of reckoning was upon them. They had no idea what was about to go down. Okay, maybe that was a bit over dramatic. You get the idea though. So instantly, that was already the fattest red flag possible. Like the fact that she was willing to take this furry stuff in public. Like, dude, why? That would be like if I took my microphone and just started recording in public. That would be the goofiest thing of all time. You hear the wind in the background. You hear people just talking amongst themselves. Like, they would be the goofiest videos of all time. I mean, they're already a little bit goofy, especially the titles and thumbnails, but we don't talk about. This girl got on all fours at school. Like, once she got there, she was in this fursuit and she was meowing at people. Like, why? I don't understand. And she was like growling at people she didn't like that would make fun of her, and then she would meow at the people that she liked or something like that. I don't know. Imagine if I saw this when I was in 5th grade. Like, I would have been traumatized for life, okay? Like, I don't know if I would have been able to recover. I've never seen a furry in real life before. I mean, apart from the fact that a dude with a dog tail on walked into the grocery store I worked at. Other than that, I never really saw a furry before. So pretty much she has like this furry character, and she brought it into real life because she started making up some stupid ass stories like, my eyes change color depending on my mood. Red when I'm angry, blue when I'm sad, and yellow when I'm happy, etc. You get the deal. And she said, I quote, in my past life, I used to be a tiger, and my cat was my tiger mate. I can't believe I just fucking read that. I genuinely can't believe. She thought that her actual cat, like her pet cat, was mates with her tiger in the past, and it created her? Like, I don't even know, bro. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But yeah, it just made her really uncomfortable. But she was just so mentally unstable. She was just a problem, okay? Like, an absolute problem to be around. Every now and then, the subscriber would try and, like, break their friendship, and she would basically beg for her to stay. She would be like, oh, I need you. Like, I would kill myself without you. Like, you're my only friend. So obviously she doesn't want anything bad to happen to her. So she really had no choice. Though then she had like a gamer girl phase, or just like, I guess kind of just like gaming in general, but she was just like really cringe about it. She started blasting Among Us music, like in the subscribers' ears during class. Like, it was just really fucking stupid. Then her parents got her one of those Among Us suits for Halloween. Like, it was so fucking, oh my god. Obviously, she didn't want to go trick-or-treating with her, but then again, she threatened to off herself if she didn't. So she had to walk around with a girl that was in, either 5th or 6th grade. I'm not sure what point this was at, but point still stands. She had to walk around with this girl in an Among Us suit. Like, and it was at that point where Among Us memes and shit like that, it was just really cringe. So obviously, the subscriber did not want to be seen in public with her, right? She basically said that, oh, sorry, I don't think I can go with you. I'm going with my younger cousins. And she's like, oh, no, they can just come with us instead. And she was like, I don't know, they might get scared of your fursuit or whatever. And then she got so mad, and she said some shit like, oh, you said it in a really mean tone. And then, like, she tried to get, I don't know, she was just all pissed off about it. And then she walked down the hallway, just like she tried to walk like a cat, pretty much. Just imagine that. A human being walking like a cat. I can't, oh my god. So instead of going trick-or-treating with her, since she claims that she said whatever she said in a mean tone, she came to the subscriber's house on Halloween and TP'd the entire house and just stole all the candy and ran. The security system saw all this, and she stole some shit in the backyard too. She saw her with it the next day, so she knew it was like some sort of glass vase or some decorative ornament in the garden or something like that. And of course, when her mom got home that night, I think she might have been at like work or something, she was pissed about like whatever the fuck just happened at her house, right? She ended up getting the vase back from her at school. Like, she ended up just like grabbing it from her backpack. She like probably like put put her foot in the locker or something, opened it up, and just grabbed the vase. Because those lockers were so easy to get into without the combination. You literally just like hit them with your knee or something and they'll open. But now this is the last part of the story and probably the worst part. So there was this kid, we'll call him Connor. He was very nice and she was basically one of the subscribers' best friends. And this girl had a massive crush on him. She completely forgot about the Dream SMP, just like everything she said, and she would just completely simp over Connor instead, which was a lot worse because she would constantly draw him and make really terrible art of them kissing and even them doing it. Yeah, it was bad. She asked him to come over and he said he couldn't, and she was so pissed off and she threatened to off herself, but he already hung up the phone or walked away, or she wasn't really too sure where and when the combo took place, but it took place. That's the point. But later in that day, he was hanging out with the subscriber instead, and they were actually watching one of my videos, believe it or not. And pretty much they were talking about Amy. They said, oh well, Amy, I don't really like her that much, to be honest. Like I don't even think like I should even be friends with her. And the subscriber agreed, like, yeah, me too. Like, I don't know, like, she did all this shit to my house. Like, I'm definitely gonna try and distance myself from her. Then they just continued watching the video. The next week or two, things just got completely out of hand. The next week, she took a plastic butter knife to school, and she pretty much went up to Connor and basically forced him to go into the bathroom. So she shut the door behind him. She forcefully made out with him in the bathroom, and pretty much, she tried, but it didn't happen. I just can't believe a 6th grader would do that. That is just disgusting. Or just anybody in general. Like, what the fuck? But especially in 6th grade. God damn. She was pushing him against the wall of the stall and pretty much just like forcing him to stay there. At this point, the subscriber was like really concerned for where this girl was, because they were supposed to be in class together, right? And now she was like, where the fuck is she? Like, she's been gone for like, I don't know how long. So she just asked the teacher to go to the bathroom. She says yes. She goes, and then all of a sudden, she heard something in the bathroom, and she's like, what the hell is going on in there? She opens the door, and she walks in and sees the catastrophe that just went down. And she was just completely shocked that she would go to this level. Like, she thought she was just really weird, like, oh, wear a fursuit to school, obsessed with Dream SMP, but whatever. That's just cringe. But this is just, like, this is a crime, bro. Like, Jesus Christ. She pushed her away, letting Connor free, and pretty much she got pushed into the toilet and ended up blacking out because it hit her on the head. But then Connor was able to be set free and just beat the shit out of her. Connor dragged her out, and then Connor tried to wake her up, and eventually after a few minutes she woke up. So they decided that they were going to go to the principal's office and obviously snitch on her, because what the absolute fuck. So they talked to some of the teachers, they interrogated them, and the principal believed them. This girl got expelled, but I don't know if she got sent to like juvie or something. I have no clue. I don't know if the police got involved or anything like that. But next year, her and Connor, they had a pretty peaceful year. She hasn't found her yet to this day because she moved houses. The next story is just absolutely great, okay? The next story is about a future Discord mod and a weird anime kid that were brothers. You know, 2 apples of the same tree, you know? So just a great duo, you know? As you can tell, fantastic duo. They'll buy OnlyFans subscriptions together in the future. I don't know, but pretty much they made the subscriber really uncomfortable. And now we're gonna call the subscriber Liz for the video. She wanted me to use it, so we'll just go with it. So first, let's talk about the Discord mod. It started about like 4 years ago. Now Liz met this girl, and the Discord mod was her brother. They've been friends for about like 4 years at this point, and every time she was around this Discord mod dude, she just felt extremely uneasy. One day, her and her friend were having a sleepover together, and she thought that this dude was at his dad's house with his brother, who we'll talk about later. The subscriber's friend lived with her mom, so she expected this dude to be with the dad. Her and her friend were chilling, talking, hanging out, doing whatever the hell you do with friends, and all of a sudden, she hears like this scream come from a room across the hall. And it's this kid, this Discord mod kid, doing whatever the fuck he was doing on some video game. Like, he lost some game, so he was like throwing his headset and shit and screaming. It just scared the living shit out of her, and she did not expect to find out that this dude was here in that way. Like, what a great introduction by the Discord mod brother. Then he walked into the room all casual, acting like nothing happened. He was like, oh, hello, subscriber. I didn't know you were here. Yes, you did. Let's keep it a bean and a half. Like, this dude knew that his sister had a friend over, and And if it was just his sister, he would have not walked in his room like, hey, sister, how's your night going? No, he would have went right back to playing his game. Then this dude started to flirt with her. And like I said, we already knew his intentions right from the get-go. Like, this dude would have went back to playing his game. And now she's made it clear to him several times at this point that she is not interested in this dude. I don't know how many times this dude was hit on the head with the mallet. Like, Jesus Christ, I don't know how many times she has to express to you that she does not feel that way about you. And to top it all off, what makes it worse is that she was 12 and this dude was 15. Like, bro, what the fuck? Anyways, that's pretty much like, I don't know, you hitting on your friend's sister or something. You know, something that most people probably wouldn't do. Like, you don't want to cross that territory. Like, that's your homie. Like, you know, it doesn't matter, like, how good looking she is. Like, I don't know. It's just like sometimes you just don't go that far. And I don't know why this dude did it, knowing that she was 3 years younger than him, bro. What the fuck? And the entire night, this kid and the brother was also there, the anime kid. We're going to get into him later. This dude pretty much said for her to sleep with them, whatever that was supposed to mean. The entire night, she couldn't sleep. She was just so frightened by what the fuck just happened. But yeah, and then the brother. Let's just get right into it, because holy shit. You know, it's two peas to a pod almost. This dude walks out screaming. Just, it turns out he wasn't at the dad's house. She thought he was, but he wasn't. He walked out of his room screaming because he couldn't catch a rare Pokemon on Pokemon Go. Like, there is no possible reason that you could be screaming at Pokemon Go right now. I don't care if you were like a pubic hair away from catching a shiny Charizard, bro. There is no need to yell about it. Bro, it's a fucking mobile game. Like, imagine if I threw my phone while I was playing Subway Surfers. Like, what the fuck would I look like, bro? He was like, oh, hi, subscriber. And like, I mean, I don't know if this kid knew her or not, but this dude said in like the perviest voice of all time, just like, not even like 0.5 seconds after saying hi. Just a nice little introduction. If you were in anime, you would be my hottest waifu, and I would have you as my wallpaper. I'm genuinely reading that right now. I can't believe it. I'm sure when I record these videos, like my parents and my brother and Gween can probably hear me, and they're probably like, what the fuck is he reading? And of course, this Discord mod dude, he was still there, and this dude said like, that's right, oh yeah, she's a cute little kitten. Like, bro, shut the just some advice out there for Discord mods and weird anime kids. Calling them kitten or waifu, dude, you're not gonna win them. I'm sorry. That's not how it works. One, it creeps them out, and two, like, you don't even have any kind of genuine connection yet. So what the fuck makes you think you're gonna win them over, quote unquote? These kids were just full on shooting their shots, bro. It was ridiculous. And I don't think any girl would want to envision their partner having a wallpaper of them on the wall. What the fuck? A little while later, she moved to Texas, so this anime kid and Discord mod could not bother her for quite some time. But she had like some family issues going on, so she had to move back. And of course, they were back. They were back to make her uncomfortable as possible. And unfortunately, the subscriber lost her dad at some point in this story. I hope all is well. My condolences to you and your family. But yeah, she lost her dad and she went to the funeral. And a few days later, she went to see somebody that I've talked about on this channel before. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really remember exactly which video, but it was a friend of hers that was very weird. We'll say that. So she decided to hang out with the friend with the weird ass brothers and this girl that I think I called Carol in my last video. I don't really remember, but pretty much they were hanging out. And then this kid, they were outside, and then this kid walks outside, the anime one. He walks outside with this shirt off, and he like tries to impress them, and by basically saying that like he is the shit, all right? He is the main protagonist of the anime. And he was like, since I'm the main character, you, subscriber, you should be my main waifu. Like, bro, what the fuck? Like, listen, dude, I don't think anybody should be anything, okay, dude? Like, they need to be whatever the hell they want to be. Well, to an extent, of course. If they want to be a fucking fucking war criminal. That's one thing. All these weird anime kids, like, swear to God that, like, they deserve a girl. Like, no, you don't, bro. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, just because you think you live in an anime and you're the main protagonist doesn't mean you deserve every single girl that you like. And then, of course, the subscriber said, listen, dude, I never would be like any of that to you. And this dude got pissed, of course. And then the mini Discord mod, or whatever the hell you want to call him, pretty much just said, like, oh, you should be my kitten instead. Like, bro, what the fuck? Like, dude, if she just said no to that, what do you think she's gonna say to that? Obviously, she does not want two weirdos posted up in her DMs right now. So, of course, she was just like, ew, no, the fuck? Like, dude, what are you even talking about? But thankfully, after that, they finally got the hint. They walked back inside, or maybe not after that. I'm not really sure, but it finally stopped last December. Now, I don't know at what point in the story that last part was at. I don't know if there was a character development in the storyline of this kid's anime. Maybe not. Maybe there was. I don't know. And the reason why it stopped was, well, because her mom was sick of their mom trying to make them go out. That is crazy that these kids, like, need their mom to set them up, bro. That is insane. Where a subscriber ended up dating this girl that started an OnlyFans, and then he ended up exposing her. But now things have unfortunately gotten much worse. He kind of felt like a huge war broke out and shit. So, yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. So after he exposed her that night, right, he ended up getting a message from her. And basically she was pissed off because, oh, you called me a whore or whatever. Oh, thank you for calling me all these names in front of everybody, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you guys saw the last video, but I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like, bro, she just deserved it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She deserved it. He said, listen, you know, I've done everything I can at this point. You know, like, I tried to take care of you in your darkest times, but you just didn't give a fuck about me. So it just completely destroyed the relationship. And plus, you're going around selling your body online. So what does that tell me? Obviously, that tells me that you don't give a fuck anymore. But guess what her response was? It wasn't like, yeah, you know what, you're right. I did cheat on you by selling my body on OnlyFans. What she decided to do instead was she said, yeah, I'm calling the cops. Bro, what are the cops gonna do? Oh, he called me names. Like, bro, nothing. They're not gonna do shit about that. And he was just like, okay, yeah, waste your time, because they're not gonna arrest me. He was just like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? So he finds out, like, a couple days later that eventually this girl called the cops on him like 6 times. Now, he doesn't even know what she told him because he didn't even do anything. And he basically had to go to the police about it. So he told them what happened from his perspective, and they told him, yeah, this shouldn't really be a police matter. And they basically said, yeah, this matter doesn't have anything to do with the police. And the second thing that, you know, he thinks is, well, you know, they must be, oh my God, she must have been lying to the cops about the situation. Now, he doesn't even know if he has to go to court for all this shit, and he has no idea, like, what grounds this girl thinks she has. Like, I mean, there's nothing there. Like, apparently she's bringing him to court for harassment or something. He's not really entirely sure if he even has to go yet, but he's just hoping to God that things de-escalate, because it's not only wasting his time, it's wasting the police time. And the cop was talking to him for a while, just saying there isn't anything wrong that he did, but just stop talking to her, and, you know, hopes that it will de-escalate. And he felt pretty bad for the cop because he had to hear all this bullshit and everything that was going on. And the subscriber said he agreed, and, you know, he was just going to try and move on. And he told the cops that she said basically that the internet exposing of her, whatever it is illegal. Bro, you posted that publicly. Like, how is that illegal? You are posting your body on the internet. That's not illegal. He shared public content. That's not illegal at all. Like, he just shared, like, the actual link to your OnlyFans. So I don't think that's illegal at all. It was just a whole thing that she was basically pulling the harassment card. But him and the police officer, they both had a pretty good laugh out of this. But before he left, he said, no worries, man. Just for right now, stop talking to her because things could get even messier. So he was like, yeah, I agree. Even though this is kind of a funny situation, this is just really annoying to deal with. And every excuse and every lie is just a bunch of bullshit that, you know, it's just too much for me. But his family told him, like, yeah, man, yeah, she ain't worth it, bro. Like, she ain't worth it. If she really cared about you, right, like, these things wouldn't have even happened in the first place. And he finally woke up about it. Like, he didn't really, you know, he wasn't the happiest, obviously. Like, he was really heartbroken, right? But, you know, he finally was just like, you know what? I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to stop talking to her and just enjoy my life. So that's what he did. Over the next few weeks, he kind of had a hard time. Like, he was trying to get through it, but he was really having a tough time getting through it. He felt like he was just falling down so much. Like, he was sad and angry all the time for what happened. Like, it was hard for him to sleep, and literally almost every night, like, he would shed tears before bed, looking at old pictures between the two of them. And yeah, heartbreak, it fucking stings. Like, there's really no other way to get through it besides, like, time and, like, focusing on yourself. That's really the only way it's gonna go away. And, you know, those were, like, some of the best days of his life. So it was, like, really, really just devastating to see it all fall apart like that. But his friends and family kept trying to tell him, like, bro, it's not your fault. Like, she screwed up badly. Like, nah, you were the catch, bro. Like, she lost you. Like, you gotta think about it this way. It's alright to cherish the moments that you guys had, but she screwed up herself. Like, it's her fault, not yours. Like, it's her loss. But, it's not that he thought what they said wasn't true. Like, it was just so hard for him to get through the fact that, like, this girl, whatever, I think I called her Natasha, isn't, like, the Natasha that he once knew. It was just really heartbreaking to see her, like, change like that. So, obviously, it really messed him up. So, one day before he was going to bed, it was, like, a week before his birthday at this point. It was around the corner. So, he was sleeping, and he had his old phone right beside him. And then a bunch of Snapchat notifications went off, and it said Natasha saved about like 10 of their old photos they took together. And he was confused. He was like, bro, why is she saving these photos? He didn't say anything about it, and he just decided to go back to bed. And he basically snapped her cousin like, yo, she saved like 10 photos of us. Like, why did she do that? And she was like, I don't know, maybe she regretted everything, or maybe she's thinking about you. And he was just like, okay, just stop. Like, I mean, at this point, I can't. This is all too much. I really can't. Like, she's broken my heart way too many times, bro. At least that's what he tried to tell himself, but he kind of gave in a little bit. And he just decided, you know what? I gotta do what I gotta do in my life. I gotta finish school and go to work and make sure everything's going good. And after that, she wanted to find out where he was living. And she was making a pretty huge deal about this. Like, she had a story on Snap basically saying, hey, does anybody know where a subscriber moved? And she made like an Instagram post about it. Like, bro, come on, just leave him alone at this point. Like, I don't even know why she's still like trying to go after him. Like, I don't know. But he asked her cousin and her sister about it, and they were confused as he was. Why the hell does she want to know that? Like, that's creepy as hell. And they were like, oh, maybe she wants to apologize to you. And he was like, no, fuck that. So the next event, I guess you could say, took place around his birthday. It was his 18th birthday. And he didn't really do anything too special for his birthday because his cousin was getting married. And of course, he wanted to go to that. But at the same time, he didn't want to go because he felt like it would have reminded him of what happened. Like, he couldn't watch it, basically. That's kind of how he was feeling. But, he just decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to the wedding. So he did. He went to the wedding and he had a fun time. He was just trying his hardest not to think about Natasha, because they would always say like, oh yeah, we're gonna get married, have kids, do all this. But teenage love, you know how it goes. When he got home from the wedding, they finished off his birthday, and yeah, he had a pretty good birthday despite not doing anything like too crazy. But he got a message from somebody that day, and of course it was Natasha. And he was like, what the hell? But she just said, hey, I hope you had a great birthday. I'm proud of you for getting so far and not giving up. I hope life is treating you well, and sent hearts. And he was like, bro, get the hell out of here. Like, she just obviously wanted to apologize for the situation, but bro, that's kind of just unforgivable. So he just wasn't having it. So about 2 days or so later, he was doing his thing. He was playing Minecraft, doing schoolwork, doing whatever the hell he has to do. And he got a Snapchat from her cousin saying, oh, she wants to apologize to you. And he was like, yeah, no. Like, I'm gonna accept that apology. Like, hell nah, bro. And he basically got a messenger. Oh my God. He got a message from her on Messenger. That was a goddamn tongue twister. She basically said, hey, I know I'm the last person you want to talk to, and I know you don't want to forgive me, but I'm really sorry, and I do love you, and I want you back. I fucking hate myself for doing things like that. And I never wanted to post things like that, but I'm really sorry, subscriber, and I just wasn't thinking straight. Unfortunately, he's super gullible about it, and some girls just like to manipulate. Like, it's something that they love to do. And unfortunately, he accepted the apology because he's generally a nice person, and, he didn't really want bad blood. Like, that's kind of like the last thing he wanted, but Now at this point, he was like, yeah, no, now I want all the smoke, because this is just really annoying. After this whole situation went down, like, we still got like 4 paragraphs to go. So a day or 2 later, he was just, and I guess he decided to give her another chance. But at the time, he was definitely not thinking straight. Like, he was really depressed and made the wrong choice again. He thought she was honest and she really meant it, but she was being manipulative as hell. So they got back together, and things were going okay so far. Like, so far, she kept her promise, but they were talking, and, things were great. She stopped smoking, drinking, and she wasn't like doing any of these bad habits anymore, and she was acting like her old self. So he felt like, oh, this is great. Like, things are back to the way they were. After weeks have gone by, they were talking about the situation, and he was playing along. He was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I was a little bit too aggressive about it, and I wish, there was a more lighter way to handle about it. But he was just talking out of his ass, because he just didn't do anything wrong at all. Like, I mean, she did that to herself. And out of nowhere, she starts slandering him and blaming him for the entire situation, and trying to make herself seem like she did nothing wrong and that he's the bad guy. So he was like, bro, you literally like came crawling on your hands and knees, apologizing to me, begging me to let you back in my life. And now you're sitting here blaming me for all this shit. Like, are you kidding me? And he was like, oh yeah. And also, thanks for the death threats that your brother sent. Yeah, that was really mature. And he just put his phone down and he went back to doing his thing. And it was just like so annoying. Like, he was like, bro, why did I make this decision? Now he's starting to regret his decision a little bit. And she said, oh, I know, I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be blaming you, but because it's my fault, but a lot of people are coming after me for this. But unfortunately, he did a lot of things that he regretted in this situation. Like, he was kind of being like a little bit too nice to her. He was just like, yeah, it's all right, whatever. Like, he was not really being himself. He was kind of just like, he was telling himself like, yeah, this girl's a bitch. Like, she's literally blaming me for this whole thing. And his homie said the same thing. Like, yeah, bro, it's her fault. And, it's not a good idea to let her back into your life. And sometimes it's good to get an outside perspective on things like this, because you have an attachment to the person, right? And it's really hard to kind of see what's wrong about them, right? Like, it's hard to see unless you have people telling you like, bro, you gotta move on. But he didn't really care, because he was listening to, his other self, basically believing her and, her apology and whatever, and not his friends that were telling him the truth. But during this relationship, things went downhill again. She fucked up again, and at this point, he's not really surprised. Now, things were going normally, as usual, and she seemed kind of off. She didn't sound okay, but she would not tell him what was wrong. And now, he supported her through everything. He was like, let me know if you want to talk. Like I can talk about it. But one night, when they were on call, she looked really suspicious, like she was hiding something. Anyways, they were talking, and she brought up the blaming shit in, the worst way possible. And she was like, oh, I'm going through a lot, and like, I hate you so much for what you did. Like, you ruined my life. Like, it's harder for me to do things in life, like go out in public, because everybody just knows me as the girl that did OnlyFans, with a boyfriend. Bro, you deserved it. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, you're gonna get what comes to you, bro. Like, it's life. You know what I mean? You're gonna get kicked in the ass if you do OnlyFans, bro, and you have a boyfriend. But apparently she was saying that he deserved to get punished. But no, he didn't deserve anything. He was just calling you out. And honestly, he has every right to do that. And now he didn't want to start more conflict. He was out of fight juice. He didn't want any smoke today. So he just didn't want to bother starting anything. But in another conversation that he had with her, right? She was at her brother's house, and apparently she was talking to him about how she wanted to become somebody who dances on poles and somebody who goes to people's houses to do things with them for money. So I'm not going to say the word, obviously, because YouTube's been going around demonetizing a shit ton of people lately. So I got to be mad careful. So, but he was just like, bro, what? And at this point, he didn't want to start a fight, because he just decided, I'm going to talk about it in the most adult way possible. But they ended up working things out again. But he was like, you're joking, right? And no, apparently she was not joking. But he had to go apologize to Natasha's mom for some reason because of what he did. And then he kind of starts to realize, he's like, yeah, I definitely made the wrong choice. He started off by saying, hey, sorry, things got out of hand between me and your daughter, but we're figuring figuring shit out, so yeah, we're cool. But the mother's response was like, yeah, fuck you, little shit, get out of my house, you're not welcome here. So he was like, what? He was so confused. He's like, bro, that's not the language I was expecting from a mom. Like, he was like, that's the last thing I expected from a mom. Like, usually the moms are like, hey, honey, and you know, they're like all chill, but not this mom. Definitely not. So, she basically started calling him names and calling him toxic, but he wanted to say something because she isn't a good parent. Like, she is an awful parent. She's the reason why Natasha acts the way she does. Like, she gave her own daughter grass and apple juice, right? Yeah, YouTube. It's grass and apple juice. You know, she gave her those things, and it just made her really toxic, and it just was like, why the hell would she do that? I don't know. It was like an awful parent, but he didn't want to start anything with this girl's mom, so he just decided, all right, I'm going to leave and then just block this mom's number. But after a while, she got way worse. Like, weeks into the relationship, October hit, and she was just not being her again. So after a while, she was really into her pole job, her dancing, her exotic dancing, and she got really argumentative about it at the time. And he was really, really depressed, and he didn't want to fight. So he was just like, okay, fine. But he was just like, why? Why did you want this job? And her answer was, because I need money to move, because in her head, she thinks that that's the only way to make money. There's plenty of things that you can do to make money. Like, you don't even need to go to college to make money. Like, you can do plenty of other things. And she was in a relationship, so obviously she shouldn't be taking a job like this. But he felt kind of bad because her mom was a total psycho and she had to deal with her mom's bullshit. But dancing like that and giving guys lap dances, it just, yeah, he just didn't want to let it slide. It was a shit show, if I could speak. But obviously, he doesn't want her to do it because, like, he's his boyfriend, and he doesn't want her to give strangers a lap dance. And it can be a dangerous job. Like, there's guys that will do really nasty stuff. She told him that it was, like, a gentleman's club. But it still didn't matter. Like, exotic dancing is exotic dancing. But she just didn't care. She went balls deep into this job, all right? Like, he didn't want to engage with her because he was just sick of the bullshit, and he just didn't even know, like, what to do. So, unfortunately, he started, like, supporting this job because she was making decent money from it. And now, before everybody gets on his head, like, I don't want to get on his head because, like, love can make you do really stupid things. So I totally understand. Like, I get it, bro. I get it. Like, I've done some pretty stupid shit. But so weeks have gone by and she was still acting like completely evil. You know, she wasn't happy. She was constantly on the same shit, and he was just trying to help her. But anyways, times went by and he got the message from her saying that her mom found out that they were talking and is basically making her block him, which wasn't the first time that her mom tried to separate them, but they didn't care and they just kept talking. Oh my god, he basically said, oh, tell her to leave us alone. Like, he didn't really mean to be mean to her. Like, he was just having like a shitty couple of weeks, and she was like, you know, I can tell my mom what to do, and I hate it when I'm in a relationship with a boy telling me what they do and don't like about me, but if you don't like it, then bye, bitch. And then she blocks him, and he was like, dude, what the hell, just don't do this. So he basically tried messaging her saying, you know, I was only saying that because I had a rough few weeks, like, I didn't mean anything wrong. And she finally replies bitching at him and blaming him for a bunch of shit, and he was just like, stop, please. Like, what the hell? She just continues to bitch at him, but finally she calms down and she was like, I'm going to bed. And he was like, good night. And he was like, you know, I love you. And she was like, okay, good night, I love you too. Yeah, and that was definitely not true. Okay, that was not true. Okay, she did not love him. So he went to bed and he basically tried to calm down after what happened. Like, he was mad tight after that, so he didn't know why she got mad at him, but he just tried brushing things off his shoulder, and he was like, whatever. And Natasha replies the next morning basically saying, oh, if I'm going through a hard time and I couldn't maintain a relationship, would you beg me to stay? And he replied, why would you ask that? She said, I mean, mostly because I don't want to lose you. And he should have said, if that's what you need to do, then I'm not making you stay. But that's what he wanted to say, but he didn't say it. But then he was just texting her back and forth, and she was saying a bunch of mean things to him for no reason, and he was just like, please stop. Like, this is just getting out of hand now. So she cut the knot the worst way possible. She was like, I don't know how you can expect me to be in a relationship that's very distant, and my family hate you. Like, I can't be happy in a relationship. Every time I look at a happy couple, it makes me more depressed. And told me that she made promises and kept them, but when I made promises. She just didn't care and was just a bad person. So obviously the subscriber was like, are you kidding me? Like, no. Like, at this point, it's over. It's done. Like, I don't even care. Like, how could you say that? Like, I've kept every single promise. You were the one that would break these promises. Like, it was your fault or her fault that they couldn't see each other. Like, it's her fault that people hated her. It's her fault that a lot of this shit happened. Like, he busted his ass off to try and make her happy, but she didn't do shit in return. Like, he was just feeding the hand and he got nothing back. And he was just like, you know what? It's over. I'm done. I can't believe I let you back in my life for like the third time at this point. Like, all you do is just annoy me, just leave me broken, and you just don't even care about me. So there's no point in even just continuing to talk to you anymore. Like, it's not my fault that our relationship is so fucked up. It's yours. And he just decided, yeah, I can't just keep getting heartbroken like this. Like, enough's enough. And he was like, I tried everything, and it just seems like nothing is working. But yeah, she could have handled it a more mature way. But she decided the greatest way to handle this was, she decided to lie again. She cheated on him again and got with another guy behind his back. I mean, bro, this girl for the streets, man. Like, what the fuck? I mean, she's a exotic dancer. She cheated on you twice, started an OnlyFans. Like, yeah. Oh my fucking God, bro. You gotta be careful nowadays, man. Like, you don't know what you can see. Now, he doesn't know why he didn't wake up for the first time, but it took him like 3 times of getting heartbroken to like wake up. But you know, unfortunately, this like really broke him. And you know, I hope things are going okay now, because man, this seems like a lot, and it's really important like to just work on yourself. Like, a girl shouldn't make you whole. Like, honestly, that's something that you should know. Like, just keep working on yourself, man, and eventually you'll find somebody that's right for you, because clearly it's her loss, bro. Like, nah, she lost the catch. Like, you were the catch, bro. Like, no cap. Like, she kept slandering you, lying about you, and all this other shit. And he left a quote for us for the day. He said, if she hurts you once, she'll hurt you again. Don't let the big heart take in. Basically meaning if she keeps hurting you, it's just not worth it. But yeah, comment girlfriend if you made it this far. Thank you to my members. Binge the stories if you enjoy these videos. And hopefully I'll get back on my shit soon, bro. Like, I need to upload more. But anyways, yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. All right, so I'm back, and I know it's... So the story begins with the history between these two people. So, we're just gonna call the girl Julie. And the subscriber and Julie, they were unable to separate. You know, they basically did everything together. Like, they would constantly have sleepovers, they had pillow fights, they would play games, bake, like, they did everything together. So there was this one problem with Julie, right? She was, like, way too obsessed with the subscriber. Every time he was hanging out with another friend that she didn't like, she would just, like, grab him by the arm and, like, drag him away. So Julie basically just wanted all his time to be spent with her. She would want all his time. 24/7, she wanted him to spend his time with her. Like, he couldn't even, like, call family members on the phone. And some of you may be thinking, well, why'd the subscriber force himself to do all this, right? Well, it's because her and her mom were nuts, okay? They were both crazy. Like, one time she got into a fight at school, and, like, her mom wanted to put a restraining order and sue the kid. And this is really confusing because, like, didn't her daughter, like, start the fight? I don't know. Like, I'm really confused. And, like, this mom is, like, in her 40s wanting to sue a kid in, like, middle school, really? Like, even if this went through, like, what kind of money are you gonna get from a kid in middle school? Like, none. Like, this kid doesn't even have a job. Like, 2 months ago, his mom was teaching him how to take out the trash. Like, nah, it's just not gonna work out. And for some reason, like, despite the fact that, like, she wanted the subscriber to be, like, her best friend, like, she would literally not let him hang out with anybody else, she would try and get him in trouble sometimes. I don't know why. Like, I have no idea. She was just extremely toxic despite the fact she wanted this dude to be, like, her best friend. Like, I mean, that opportunity's basically shit itself. Like, now you're trying to get this guy in trouble. You really think he's gonna be your best friend? Like, no, that opportunity's out the window now. And since this girl was crazy herself, she basically told the subscriber to do something crazy to get him in trouble, if that makes sense. And obviously, he's not gonna do it because he doesn't want to get in trouble. He's not gonna listen to this crazy girl that's, like, basically wants to be by his side every waking moment. She acts like the earth is gonna shatter and fall apart if she's not by his side, like, literally 1 second of the day. And later that exact day, his mom comes home, and then she basically says, like, oh, your phone's ringing like crazy over there. Like, who's calling you? Now, he was playing video games with this friend at the time, not this girl, someone else that she didn't like. So she was just like spamming his phone after she found out like he was playing video games with someone else. Then he went to go talk to her on the phone and told her, I'm just playing video games with my friend right now. Like, you know, I'll talk to you later. Now she just starts having like a mental breakdown over the phone. Then she basically just like gives him shit for never doing anything with her, which is just bullshit. Like, I mean, he spends most of his time with her, even though he gets treated like shit the whole time. It's like, can he just hang out with someone else? Like, why the hell does he have to hang out with you 24/7? And like, why would you think he wants to hang out with you 24/7 if you treat him like shit? Like, obviously he's not gonna want to hang out with you if you don't even let him hang out with other people. So then the subscriber just decided, you know, enough was enough. So he decided he's just gonna break it off there and never talk to her again. He was just gonna cut her off because she was just insulting him and screaming at him over the phone. So he's like, I'm done. Hung up and is gonna try his best to like avoid talking to her at all costs. And despite, you know, the fact that she wanted to hang out with him 24/7, she was allowed to have other friends, but not him. Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. So her friend decided she was gonna spam the subscriber and say like, you're a heartless bitch, like how dare you? She is a sweet young lady and I can't believe you would unfriend her over that phone call you had with her yesterday. How dare you? Blah blah blah. Like, she just went on a whole tangent through text message, and I mean, the subscriber didn't even know who it was. Like, it was just a random number in his phone, and he kind of just put the pieces together. Yeah, this is probably her friend, to be honest. The next day comes around and she decides she's gonna go to his house. So she goes to his house, knocks on the door. The subscriber opens it, asks like what her deal is, and she basically says like, let me explain. Like, can we talk? Like, let me explain what happened yesterday. And now I don't know how you can explain that away. Like, there's not a lot of explaining you can do in a scenario like that, you know? Like, you yelled at him over the phone and insulted him because he was hanging out with somebody else while you were hanging out with somebody else. Like, what sense does that make? She kind of just like explains herself, apologizes, I guess. Like, I don't know what much she could have explained away, to be honest. The subscriber's like, you know what? Fine. Sure, we'll be friends again. Whatever. And like, it doesn't even last a day before she's already like spam calling him and like basically saying, oh, you only decided to be my friend because you felt bad. I mean, yeah, that is true, to be honest. But still, despite the fact that that was true, he wrote like, oh, how that wasn't true or whatever. He basically just like sent her some BS and like moved on with the night. Sometimes that's what you gotta do to keep the crazy people from like attacking you. Like, you don't know what they can do. Like, they're nuts. You have no idea what the hell they're gonna do. And now, you know, she wanted him to basically talk to her on the phone like all the time, go to her house all the time, like despite the fact that, you know, they kind of almost burned bridges. How does she not notice that she's pushing the boundaries? Like, how the fuck has she not noticed that yet? Then the next day, the subscriber gets the courage to just tell her the truth. He basically just tells her, yeah, I said I wanted to be friends because I just felt bad. And of course, she was not gonna take that too well. She was pissed at him. So she made a bunch of TikTok accounts, right? This is what she decided to do. And she was like spamming the subscribers' comments on like alt accounts, her main account, whatever. Be friends with crazy girl again. Like that was like all over his comments. He checked his notifications on TikTok, at least 100 comments from this girl, from like 10 different accounts. And we're not even like halfway done yet, I don't think. Like, we're just getting to the climax, like right now. Like, trust me, it gets crazier. I don't know how the fuck this chick could get any crazier, but you know what? She somehow does. So a week later, the subscriber sent me a message on Instagram basically saying like, yo, I have an update for the story. And what he tells me, yeah, this Julie or crazy or whatever the hell you want to call her, she was going to contact all the friends she had and basically said to them, hey, can you get subscriber to be friends with me again? And they just all sent him messages like manipulating him and basically saying like how she was going to be so sad if he wasn't friends with her again. And now like obviously he's not going to become friends with the crazy girl again. Like, of course not. After a week ago, he saw that Psycho X shit. Like, there's no way he's being friends with this girl again. She basically told everybody about it, and now the whole school that he goes to, right, thinks that he was the one that did something wrong. But I mean, if it isn't really clear enough, like at this point, it should be fucking crystal clear that clearly this girl did something wrong. I don't know why the hell she's going around telling the whole school, like, how much of a bad person the subscriber is. And, you know, weekly, the subscriber had, like, a weekly update on this girl. Like, that's how much trouble she was getting herself into. Like, really? Like, he told me a week after that, like, she tried to fight somebody at school again, and now she went crying to her mom, and basically now she wants to sue some random kid. Now, at this point, it's the beginning of March of this year, and obviously, she's continuing to get up to more and more shenanigans. But now, she decided it was a good idea, you know, that on her her main TikTok account, like her TikTok account where she has followers on. I mean, she has a pretty sizable account, and I don't know how many followers she has, but she decided, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna post the subscriber's face just on my TikTok. She basically just posted his face to her thousands of followers. Like, why are you showing random people on the internet this guy's face? Like, obviously, he does not want his face out there to thousands of random people on the internet, and I don't blame him at all. And she thought that was just like a perfectly okay thing to do, right? So the subscriber decided to get this situation sorted out, right? He talked to his parents, basically saying like, yeah, this girl just posted pictures of my face, like on her sizable TikTok account. I don't really know what to do. I'm not comfortable with my face out there. So his parents talked to her parents, and they had a talk basically saying like, listen, can you delete those photos off your page? And she did. She deleted the photos, and now she is moving away. So thankfully, the subscriber will be left in peace. He will be left alone, hopefully.
The kid in the story genuinely thought that he was Andrew Tate. Bro was like die hard for this guy. Like, it was wild. Probably the craziest Andrew Tate stan out there on the globe. Brody was just obsessed with him on a whole nother level. Anyways, let's jump right into the story. Story begins, it was a nice peaceful summer morning. This happened around the summer of 2022 when Andrew Tate was really popping off. And the subscriber was going to the beach. So he had to pack and all this stuff, and by the time they got in the car, it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and they headed to the beach. And it took the subscriber about an hour to get there. And of course, once they get there, they do the usual beach stuff, find parking, lug all this shit to the beach. And beach, of course, it was packed. It was a weekend, so I would imagine it was a struggle to find parking too. And I forgot to mention this, that the subscriber's mom was meeting up with her friend at the beach. And of course, she had a son. Anyone want to take a guess who's the son? Yeah, I don't even have to say. The Andrew Tate stan. That was her son. Now, of course, he wasn't aware of this at first. So he was going in with an open mind, like, okay, you know, maybe we could be homies type shit. And I mean, if we don't really click like that, I mean, all right, it'll still be a decent day, I guess. But usually when that happens, it's kind of weird. Like, of course, especially if you don't know the person like at all. Subscriber was going in absolutely blind. So we'll call Andrew Tate stan Andrew for short. They got all their shit, they lugged it to the beach, and the subscriber laid eyes on Andrew. Okay, why did I make it sound like a love story? But yeah, they met up like, oh, hi, how's it going? It's been so long. You know how moms are. Even though it's been like, I don't know, a month. Who knows? And mom's friend introduced the subscriber to Andrew. Subscriber, this is Andrew. Hello. I'm Andrew. Okay, now I'm playing. Like, you couldn't tell from one look at him that he was like a professional Andrew Tate meat muncher. I mean, you probably expected me to say like, oh yeah, he was chiefing a cigar over there. They were conversing for about 10 minutes. It was very, very normal conversation. They were both going into high school at the time, so of course they were talking about like, oh, high school, blah, 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 high school. They were talking about like baseball. They both really liked baseball. It was going great until the first sign. Now, there's plenty of more signs that made the subscriber believe, I don't know, maybe this dude is a professional Andrew Tate meat muncher. And Andrew pulled out his phone and went to his camera roll, and he said, hey man, do you want to see this edit I made? And the subscriber says, yeah, sure, why not? And then he shows him the edit. And yeah, it was some cringy edit with Andrew Tate and Patrick Bateman. Like, Patrick Bateman was like walking. So I think it'd go something like this. So Andrew Tate says, what color's your Bugatti or something? I don't fucking know. Or he's like flexing his supercars or something. And then boom, Patrick Bateman just starts doing that little strut he did in the movie. And then, of course, I'd imagine there'd be like some Sigma music in the background like that. Like, you can't forget the Money So Big instrumental. That was probably in the background. And of course, he didn't really say anything after. Like, what do you expect him to be like? Wow, that was such an amazing edit, man. Like, no. Like, bro, all those stan edits are really cringy. But who knows, maybe Andrew was trying to hop on that wave on TikTok where he was trying to get views. So the subscriber's like, all right, whatever. He's probably just trying to get some views on TikTok. And the subscriber's with him for the rest of the day. So he's like, whatever, I'm not even gonna say anything about this. I'm not gonna tell this kid how cringy his edit was. We'll just go in the water. And he's like, yo, Andrew, you want to go in the water? He's like, yeah, man, let's go. So they go to the water, and the subscriber notices that, like, Andrew's walking kind of funny. Like, he was puffing his chest out, like, over the top type shit. And then he's like, he put his hand in front of his face. There was like a slight smile on Andrew's face. Put his hand, like, to the right of his face. And then he just, like, moved his hand across his face, like, Like, and then all of a sudden the smile was gone. At this point, you'd think the motherfucker's bald, but he's not. But he did have kind of a military cut going. It's close. Like, at that point, he would probably buy a bald cap and wear it everywhere. He basically had the Sigma walk down to a T. Bro was trying to make himself 100% Sigma at all times. But yeah, they went in the water for a bit, and they just tossed around like a football. They had like this little skip ball thingy. Basically, what it would do is it would skip on the water, and you were able to skip it back and forth. Like, it's actually pretty cool. So they got tired of playing catch. You know that, like, that moment where you're like, yeah, fuck this. So the other person just starts swimming towards you. Andrew started swimming towards the subscriber, and all of a sudden Andrew's like, yo, do you want to know how to become a Sigma? Because I'm in the Sigma transformation right now. And the subscriber was so confused. Like, who even knows what's going on in the subscriber's mind right now? Like, bro was just having so many thoughts just all over the place. Like, what the hell is this kid talking about? And he's like, I don't know. Do you have what it takes? He didn't yell it, but he's like, do you have what it takes to become a Sigma? I don't know what any of this is or whatever. I'm just trying to get through high school, man. And then Andrew says to him, good, well, I could teach you. So he points to a crowd. He's like, see those people over there? They're actually sheep, and they're being controlled by this thing called the Matrix. And me and you, buddy, we're not going to be controlled by the Matrix if we become top dog Sigmas. Then the subscriber thought this was fairly entertaining, so he's like, he just responded back. He said, Matrix like the movie? Well, yes, you're learning. It is derived from the movie. And one day, my dream is to be Neo alongside Morpheus, which is my daddy and... Okay, he didn't say that, but you know what I mean. Bro was meat munching. And he's like, oh, you know, I really would love to meet Andrew Tate one day. Yeah, man, he got his eyes set on, like, getting on, like, a fucking yacht and meeting Andrew Tate or something. I don't know. And the subscriber's like, yeah, you know, yacht party does sound fun. And he just keeps talking and talking and talking about Andrew Tate. And the subscriber's like, okay, yeah, we gotta put an end to this. So he was going on about, like, how he's gonna be able to rizz up so many girls when he gets to high school just cause he's acting like Andrew Tate and he's all Sigma. Like, just because you watch some Andrew Tate TikToks doesn't mean you're now the Rizzler. Like, he's acting like Andrew Tate put him on some serious game or something. And he seemed like really enthused, like, to talk about this stuff with. It seemed like it was his whole life at this point. And the subscriber, he's like, I don't know. We'll see. And the subscriber's like, all right, we gotta end this shit. So he's like, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm going to eat if you want to go. And hopefully this will change the subject just a little bit. And the subject finally got changed for like 10 minutes, and then, well, at least something to do with Andrew Tate was brought up again. And he said, Mom, can I have my sparkling water? And then, yep, his mom passed him the sparkling water, and Andrew was so nice to offer the subscriber some sparkling water. And the subscriber, he didn't really like sparkling water, and he's like, I'm all set. And he takes his, you know, regular water and starts drinking it that his mom brought for him. And he was like, what are you, afraid of bubbles? And the mom started laughing, but you already know that there was a deeper meaning behind that. Yeah, bro really took that video serious, which is honestly crazy. Like, that was obviously exaggerated for attention. Like, come on. No, the water you drink does not define if you're a Sigma male or not. But I guess Andrew thought differently. And yeah, they ate lunch. It was somewhat quiet. You just heard like ambient beach noises and seagulls and all this other shit. No seagulls were rolling up on the subscriber during lunch, so it was a good lunch. And finally, he didn't have to hear about Andrew Tate. He was having a great time. Until the moms decided, you know what, we're gonna walk around the beach. And the subscriber's like, okay, you know, we'll watch the stuff and everything. So the moms leave after like another 20-30 minutes. And they were both big fans of baseball, so they were talking about like the MLB, some serious trades going down at the time. I mean, I don't even follow the MLB like that. I don't know. They were probably making like some playoff predictions and whatnot. And the subscriber brought up that he wanted to try out for his high school, the baseball team at the high school. And Andrew's like, you know, I really do love baseball, but Andrew always told, oh my God. He was back on his Andrew Tate spiel. Like, bro will not shut up about him. And he's like, well, I'm actually going to focus on starting a business instead. And he's like, I don't think that'll take you that much time. Maybe we'll be playing each other. Because they went to different schools, that's why the subscriber said that. And he's like, I don't know. I just don't feel like it will be worth my time. And the subscriber's like, what do you mean? You love baseball? Well, you know, I could be consuming Andrew Tate content, and I think his content will really put me at an advantage over other imbeciles. See those sheep over there, like I said earlier? If we become Sigma, we will have a tactical advantage over everybody else. Dude, we're freshmen in high school. You know that, right? But as Andrew Tate always says, start now. And the subscriber was interested. He's like, did this kid start anything? anything. So we asked, have you started anything? And he's like, yes, I started a TikTok page where I'm growing through Andrew Tate. I'm going to take advantage of the trend, and really, the business will be booming. And the kid had like a couple thousand followers. He was like some Sigma editor. That's basically what his account was. I guess what his profile picture was. Just guess. Andrew Tate. Yeah. He genuinely thought he was him at this point. And the subscriber's like, but this isn't your content. This is Andrew Tate's. Yes, that's the point. To spread the name of Andrew Tate. The subscriber says back, oh yeah, now I see why this dude's all over my For You page. Yes, there are some people out there who are given an incentive to promote his content and his course, Hustlers University. And the subscriber again was so confused. He's like, what the hell's a Hustler University? And then Andrew goes on about how Hustlers University will help him start a business and blah, blah, blah. And then the third and the fifth about Hustlers University. I don't know. I could not be bothered. And for the subscriber, everything he just said about Hustlers University just went in one ear and out the other. And then something that, brought him back to earth, he was kind of like daydreaming, was when Andrew said, I want to buy Hustlers University. I want to become a member so I can finally meet Andrew Tate. I don't even know if that's correct or not, but still, he was raving about how he was gonna meet Andrew Tate through this. It was like bro just made a revelation. So he's like, oh yes, I'm going to ask my mother once she gets back if I could join Hustlers University one day. And the subscriber didn't say anything, but he already knew it was about to be a shit show. 20 minutes goes by, they just talk about like TikTok or whatever, YouTube, and the subscriber talked about how, like some of his favorite creators like Mr. Beast, Eric, Gideon, and they were just talking about like TikTok and YouTube for a little bit, since Andrew did mention he had a TikTok. Subscriber even asked him, how much views did you get on the edits and whatnot? And then the moms get back, and you already know what's gonna happen now. And they're like, oh, you guys having fun? And they're like, yeah. And of course the subscriber held back every urge to say, fuck no. He really didn't want to ruin the vibe, because that was his mom's friend, so he didn't want to ruin the beach day for the mom. So then Andrew asked the question. So, Mom, there's this thing called Hustlers University, where this course, and it teaches you about how to start a business. And yeah, of course, like the mom started laughing, like, oh yeah, you're just a kid, let loose a little bit. And he's like, no, Mom, I'm serious. I want to learn about the business world, and if I pay a small fee of $49.99 a month, and if you help me out, I'll be able to pay you back in 2, 3, or 4 years when I really get my business going off the ground thanks to this knowledge. And she's like, who even is this guy you're talking about? And here we go. Yeah, I'm not gonna describe this part. You know how it went. And the moms were so fucking bewildered. They're like, what is this kid even talking about? And she was like, Andrew, are you looking on that TikTok too much? So it was getting close to like the evening, the end of the day. And it was like getting around the time like where you would leave the beach, like 4 or 5 o'clock. You've been there all day, and they were packing up. They were like, oh, the moms were like, oh yeah, we had such a great time today or whatever. And Andrew goes in again. Boom! Attempt 2. He goes in again, starts begging, Mom, please, this is gonna change my life. And she's like, no, I don't even know who this guy is. Do you know him personally? He's like, no, but I want to get to know him, please. He's like, no, and you know what? I'm probably just gonna get you off that little TikTok app. And he started crying. It was like, no, Andrew. He couldn't do it anymore. He couldn't hold in his emotions and walk like a Sigma. He broke character.